in the same space for a while, it can be easy for our homes to begin feeling a bit stale, a bit boring. I find that especially at this time of year, I really begin craving a feeling of newness and just a desire to kind of switch things up in my space. So today I want to walk you through some easy and practical ways that you can upgrade and refresh your home without spending a ton of money. In fact, all of these ideas cost $25 or less. And I'm excited to get into this, so if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button below so that you don't miss a single episode. But now let's get started with a fun one, and that's to upgrade your existing art. This is something that I recently learned, but did you know that many world-class museums like the Smithsonian and the Met include downloadable public domain art that's free to anyone? So literally thousands upon thousands of the world's best paintings and prints are available to you. I think it would be such a fun idea to select a few of your favorite paintings, get them printed out locally, and that's not super expensive to do. My local printer will do fairly large prints for only a couple dollars each. You can get those printed and then use thrifted frames to create a beautiful gallery wall with literally world-class art in it. This is something that's going to cost you literally fractions of what you would spend buying similar prints online, but you can have just such an incredible effect with it. This is also incredibly customizable. You can pick whatever prints and paintings speak most to you. And then another very easy but high impact way to upgrade your home is to refresh your paint. As we inhabit and live in a space over the course of months and years, our walls just naturally tend to accumulate a number of scuffs and marks on them. If you're not ready or wanting to commit to fully changing the colors of your walls by repainting your room, another great option is just to touch up all of the scuff marks that you have. So crack out that spare can of paint and go around and touch up your walls. Or what you can also do if you don't currently have a color matched can of paint on hand, is you can take a little sample of your current wall color to your local hardware store, and they can go ahead and color match that for you to make sure that what you're painting on your walls is an exact match. And as you're doing this, don't forget your doors or door frames either. Actually, that's where I tend to find that the most scuffs tend to build up. Again, you can either use paint to touch them up, or something that I often do, especially with kind of higher gloss paint finishes, you can use a magic eraser just to lightly scrub those off. And let's talk about a classic way to refresh your home, and that's just to move things around. The right room layout really can just completely enhance a space. So it's a great idea to play around with your furniture, kind of on the more drastic side, or smaller scale with your plants, artwork, things like that. Move things around to really perfect a layout that's going to work best to maximize the area that you have. What I'd say too is, even if you like your current setup, it's a good idea just to move things around every so often to switch things up. The reason for this is that we often become so used to the way things are in our space, kind of when they stay static over long stretches of time, that we really fail to notice or to fully appreciate them. And just by simply moving things around in our home, we really can kind of make it so that we're appreciating that piece of art, that item of decor, so much more. So if it's been a while since you moved things around a bit, why not take this opportunity just to shake things up? You may even find that you like that new configuration better. The next, I love this one, is just to wash and air out everything. Schedule the time to do a massive laundry day and wash all your sheets and all your blankets. And hey, while you're doing that, give your mattress a chance to breathe too. This is something that we often neglect to do, or at least don't do as often as we should, but it is such an easy way just to infuse a feeling of newness and life into your home. Let's just be real, there is nothing quite like that feeling of crawling into a freshly made bed with newly clean sheets. And personally, my go-to to get fresh sheets that smell great every time is True Earth, who you guys know I've been using and loving for years now, and I'm so excited to be partnering with them again on today's video. If you've never heard of them before though, True Earth's Eco Strips are a laundry detergent that's good for you and the environment. They use a lot less packaging. All their Eco Strips come in a recyclable cardboard box, and it's really gentle too, so it doesn't irritate your skin, which is important to me because I do tend to have fairly sensitive skin. Plus, I love that it is completely mess-free and easy to use. All you need to do is get out one of the Eco Strips, tear it in half, and then break it into a few smaller pieces. Then just load it into your washer like normal and start your load. It really is as easy as that. Everything is pre-measured, and I love how it really does just make my laundry routine simple. My favorite is their Platinum line, which is their intensified formula, and it's great at getting stains out of your clothes and removing odors. And they just released the Lilac Breeze scent in that line, and it smells so fresh and amazing. And to try out True Earth for yourself, which I highly recommend that you do, you can just click on the link in the description box below and use my code Ashlynne for 10% off at checkout. Now let's continue looking at some easy ways that you can refresh your home. And another option that I love is to bring in seasonal greenery and florals. There really is something about bringing the outdoors into our homes that just infuses our spaces with a feeling of freshness and vibrancy that few other things can. And there are a couple of great options for this. Number one, if you are open to spending a bit of money, $25 can go a long way at the right place towards being able to buy a number of different varieties of flowers that can bring so much fun color into your home. I actually did this the other day at Trader Joe's and was able to take home a spectacular array of florals with me. If you pick the right ones too, you really can have color that lasts for months. But the thing is too, this idea really doesn't have to cost you anything if you're willing to put in a bit of work. If you have a garden or know someone who has one and they're okay with you picking them, you can pick some flowers from that and bring those into your home. Or even you can just go along the side of the road, assuming that's okay where you live, pick flowers that are growing wild on the side of the road and bring those into your space. Obviously checking to make sure that there aren't any bugs on those. That is sometimes a problem, but it really doesn't have to cost you anything, and there are a lot of natural elements just in your space, in your area already, that you can bring into your house that really can be a beautiful decoration. Okay, then this is a bit more of a practical one, and that's just to organize your problem areas. What I'd recommend doing is just begin with identifying some problem spaces in your home, the ones that are constantly messy and that the moment that you try to kind of put them back in order, they just instantly seem to fall apart. So maybe that's your pantry, your closet, maybe it's your junk drawer, it could be anything. But pick one or a couple of those problem areas, try to really get to the source and figure out what is it about that space that just isn't working. Then once you figure it out, the root problem, begin working to fix it. Maybe it's that you need to declutter, maybe you need a better organizer or simply a better organization system. Maybe you need to start organizing by color or by type when things are a bit jumbled right now. Obviously, every space is going to be a bit different, but if you can figure out what's really causing the problem that you're experiencing, it all of a sudden becomes a whole lot easier to create an organization system that's going to be easy to maintain. So this is something that I like to do just every so often. I'll dedicate an afternoon to going around and just fixing any problem spots organization-wise in my home. As a matter of fact, it's been a while since I last did this, so I might need to schedule another one of those soon. Then another high impact way that you can refresh your home is to add plants. Live plants are great because they can really help to improve the air quality in your home, as well as just like florals, adding an element of freshness and vibrancy to your home. So I love just incorporating plants throughout my space. A couple ways you can do that too are either you can buy plants new, either at your local garden center, a specialty shop, something like that. I've even found them on Marketplace before. Or you can also propagate existing plants to create new ones. That's something that is so fun to do. It's really easy, and it can be a great way to either bulk up existing plants or to create entirely new ones. So both of those are great options. And then just one last thing that I'd recommend if you do already have a number of plants in your home already, is just to give them a bit of a dusting. That's something that again can help rejuvenate your existing plants and make them feel a bit more shiny and new. And something else that you can do is to choose a signature scent for your home. And scent is one of the very first things that we tend to notice upon entering someone's home. So why not make your home smell like the oasis that it is? Pick a candle or diffuser scent that you love and infuse your home with that smell. Many people have a signature scent when it comes to the perfume or the cologne that they wear. I love that idea of just kind of translating that to our homes as well. And one fun, kind of more crafty idea is to upgrade old vases, planters, or lamps. There are so many creative ways that you can upgrade and completely transform tired vessels into decor. A couple ideas I love though are you can use spray paint and mud to create a really cool stone look. You can use joint compound, which you can find at your local hardware store, to create a really interesting plaster look. I did this last year on a couple of plastic planters and I was just obsessed with how they came out. They went from looking pretty cheap to incredibly high end. But honestly, something as simple as just a fresh coat of paint too can completely revive some of these items. So I'd say really just have fun with this. And what I'll do too is if you are interested in looking into some of the DIYs that I mentioned, I'll link to some of the blog posts that I've referenced in the past when doing these DIYs below, so you can go ahead and check them out, maybe try them out for yourself. All right, then let's talk about just a really easy one, and that's simply to open up your windows. Letting the fresh air in by opening up your windows is one of those really effortless and instantaneous things that you can do to just completely revive your home. It really brings that freshness of the outdoors in. The one caveat with this one is obviously you want to be careful with what time of year you're choosing to do this. In North Carolina, we have a few week stretch every year that we just call the pollinating. That is not the time to do this. Otherwise, you're just going to have pollen all over your house. During the rest of the year though, especially in the warmer months, this is something that I love to do. Then another good idea is just to make something. Create a piece of art or a fun DIY project for your home. If you're a bit more of a crafty person, this can be a perfect opportunity to kind of crack out some of those old art supplies that have just been sitting in a closet somewhere unused. The great thing too is if you do that, you won't have to spend a penny. Plus, you'll have a beautiful piece of art on the other side that you can display in your home. And then alternatively, if you're not as artistic or if that's just not really your thing, you can also print out some pictures that you've taken either on various trips or over the years that you can display throughout your house. I love doing that too, just displaying photos that I've taken over the years, because every time that I look at them hanging up on my walls, I'm remembered of the time and place that I took them. So it's like art, it's just art with meaning. Then something else you can do to refresh your home is to change out your throw pillowcases. If you have tired throw pillows that just look like they've seen better days, why not give new life to them with fresh covers? Often it's going to be quite a bit more affordable than buying new ones. It can really help to switch up the look of your home. Of course, this doesn't just need to be for worn out throw pillows either. If you are someone who just enjoys a bit more variety, you can also kind of rotate through a few different options seasonally so that you can kind of continually switch things up. And one little pro tip with this one too is as you're changing out your throw pillowcases, why not check to see if they need a bit more stuffing, and if necessary, just kind of pad them out a little bit. Especially with older throw pillows, that can really help revive them. All right, we're getting to the end of the list here. Next is to swap out your hardware. In my opinion, swapping out your hardware is one of the highest impact investments that you can make in your home. Especially if your hardware is pretty outdated or just doesn't fit the vibe of the space that you're wanting to create. This is one of those things that doesn't cost a lot of money, but just really does completely transform the look of drawers and cabinets and whatever you replace them. This is something that we've done in both of our bathrooms and our kitchen, and it really took our space from feeling very builder grade and basic, to be honest, to something that felt very custom and that it really fit the vibe and the style of our home. So if you aren't happy with your current hardware, just find some you like and switch them out. It's honestly surprisingly easy and affordable too. And this is a big one, and that's just to clear the clutter. Decluttering really is such a powerful way to add an element of zen and tranquility to your home. What I find is that when we remove the excess from our homes, from our lives that just isn't serving us, it really gives our spaces breathing room, like they can properly exhale for the first time. And as a result, you can too. You're just able to breathe freely and feel at peace in your own home. So if lately you felt overwhelmed by clutter and just stuff that you don't need, why not schedule a day to do a massive purge and decluttering of your home? Get rid of the excess, get rid of what isn't serving you, and I promise you, you will leave that day feeling refreshed. And last but not least, let's end this with what I think is a really cute idea, and that's just to paint your door. This is something that I've been super inspired to do recently, not on our front door since we just completely redid that last year, but with our back door. This is something that I've seen as told by Michelle, Allison Bickerstaff, and a number of other people do too. I think it's just such a fun way to add a pop of color to your home, just to switch things up a bit. Plus, while painting your room is a fairly large commitment, and that's often going to take an entire day, this is a rather small one. It's only going to take an hour or two. So if you're looking for a really cool idea that's a bit more out there, why not try this one? I think I might need to as well. Well, that's the list. Those are 15 ways that you can refresh your home for $25 or less. Now, I would love to know which of these ideas was your favorite, and are there any that you're planning on trying out in your own home? I'd love to hear about it, so be sure to let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to check out Truth if you haven't already. Remember, you can just use that code Ashlynne to get 10% off at checkout. As always, friends, don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!